Hello guys, join me today as we delve into the innovative solutions driving sustainability across the continent of Africa. And in this video today, we are going to be tackling a material that most of you use. I know most people have cars, most people have bicycles, most people have motorcycles that they use as a means of transport from one place to another. And today we are going to use the material called car tire, or we could call it a bicycle tire, whatever. And we are going to produce a product from car tire. I'm going to produce key rings, like key holder rings for holding in your hands, in your pockets, for opening the door, for opening your house, But I'm going to be using different materials, and I've decided to use car tire material with a combination of kitenge. Kitenge is an African fabric that we use here, and it is used in ceremonies like wedding ceremonies. If someone is going to a party, they can use kitenge for their function so that they look smart. So I'm going to use that material in combination with the tire, of course, with other small materials that you will be seeing me. We are going to be having a conversation as I'm producing, so you work with me, learn with me, create with me as we are producing these artworks. Basically, I want my focus to be on recycling. In Africa, I'm from Uganda, East Africa, and as we were growing up, we didn't have so many avenues of recycling. And of course, right now, everyone is talking about climate change, saving the planet. And, I think it's our endeavor and it's everyone's role as a human being to make sure that our planet is protected. We need to conserve the environment. And one of the ways is by recycling. Some, you see over the internet and in other places, in different countries, people are using different materials that can easily be recycled to produce artworks as a way of conserving the environment. Some people, will decide to use, we could use plastic bottle tops, and some people use plastic bottles. Some people use sandals. Like there's an artist I think in Kenya somewhere, Mombasa, who uses flip-flops to create different artworks. And some of the products he produces are like making animals, like wildlife animals, from the flip-flops. I mean, I think this is a very creative way of recycling, because recycling can really be hard, and to venture in, it's not easy. But if you do it in a creative way, then it becomes normal, and everyone around you can easily just hop on to the bandwagon of creating to conserve the environment. The climate has changed so much, even here in Africa. I live in a country where if it rains like in the morning at 8 o'clock, by maybe 10, the sun has come back again. So we have a climate which is really nice. That's why our country is called the Pearl of Africa. I mean, if you're out there and you've never visited Uganda, come and join us. It's a very beautiful country. We have a lot of green vegetation, and I mean, people are so hospitable and everyone is so welcoming. So when you come to Uganda, you will be so happy. You'll be thrilled with the nature, because most of the times Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa, and it's gifted by nature. But of recent, I've noticed that the climate is kind of changing. There are months that used to be months of rain, and there are months that used to be months of maybe sunshine and drought. But these days things are like, flipped over. So I think one of the causes is climate change, and this is affected by how we are living, the lifestyles of our people. People tend not to recycle whatever they're using, tend to just dump rubbish wherever they find. When you go deep in the village, you find plastic bottle tops in the gardens. You find polythene bags in the gardens. Recently here, I was gardening in my compound, because the person who used to stay here course, I don't know who was staying here, but I think they used to dump a lot of garbage, and they used to dump a lot of plastic bottles and polythene bags. So as I was digging, trying to plant some, some plants to make the place look beautiful, because in my previous videos I've been telling you that I want to have an exhibition at my home. So I'm trying to beautify the whole place and plant a garden and plant trees. So I've been planting trees, though I'm quite new at this. But then I realized that as I was digging down, I would find pieces of polythene bags, and I'm like, come on, who does this? So I think if it is happening here in the city, then it means even in the villages, people who are ignorant, who have not been educated about conservation of the environment, it's a really a big hurdle. So I've realized over time that we need to conserve our environment. So when you go to those villages and see those polythene bags, then you get scared. So you're like, I mean, if people in the village, the ones who are supposed to produce food for the country, because food can hardly be produced in the city. We all get food from the village. That's where the land is big, that's where you get big acres of land, and you can easily plant things. But now people are destroying the environment, throwing polythene bags wherever they find, even in gardens. So it is quite scary. So we need to do something. That's why in most of my work that I produce, I tend to use a lot of recycled materials. And of course, not only recycled, I like moving around town or wherever I am. If I find something so fascinating, I easily pick it, throw it in my bag, and take it home and create something valuable. So I use different recycled materials, and I also want to embed those recycled materials with some natural materials, so that the art piece looks artistic and it has life. So that's why I am so much into recycling. So please join me on this journey as we try to conserve the environment by creating. So as you're following in my video, I'm using different materials like the cloth that I'm using. The fabric is called kitenge, and I basically want to produce a product that looks bright, a product that brings life to you. When you look at it, it makes you feel good. So I'm using kitenge fabric. Please share with me what materials you normally use if you're doing recycled art. I know many have begun doing recycled art out there. So what materials do you? We can also pick inspiration from you, because in art or in any creative business, we derive inspiration from different people. So you can never be an island, and you can never you reinvent the wheel. So whatever we do means we were encouraged by someone, or we were encouraged maybe by a certain post, a certain art piece, and we picked inspiration. We went back home and we were like, I have to produce something. So whatever materials you use out there, please share with us in the comments, so that we can also pick inspiration, and maybe we could also start using that very material, so that we sensitize the people on how to conserve the environment. For sure, we need to conserve the environment worldwide, not only in Africa, though I'm basically talking about Africa right now, because that's where more knowledge is needed for people to know that conserving the environment is necessary. But still, this video is about conserving the environment, worldwide. In the heart of Africa, where the beauty of nature intertwines with the daily rhythms of life, a silent revolution is taking place. Many people are basically talking about this revolution of recycling, and it's a revolution driven not by machines, since it's Africa, or technology, but by the collective efforts of communities determined to protect their environment. And at the forefront of this movement, of course, is the humble act of recycling. That's the only way you could conserve the environment at the moment. That's the cheap way of conserving the environment. I mean, across Africa, recycling has become more than just a means of waste management. It's a lifestyle for both people and the planet. You know, for both everyone, it's a lifestyle. Of course, we have to jump on board as communities grapple with the challenges of rapid urbanization and industrialization. The need to minimize waste and conserve resources have never been more pressing than in this era that we are living in as the new generation. So by recycling, we reduce the pressure on our landfills for cultivation and decrease, of course, on the amount of harmful pollutants released into the air by the water bodies or underwater bodies. For sure, recycling is a way of providing employment, especially in Africa. There's a big number of people, of course, who are educated. We won't say that they are not educated, but they were educated up to a certain level, and some didn't get a chance of going to the university, but they have a creative mind. So in cities and rural areas alike, recycling initiatives are empowering individuals to take ownership of their environment. They need to take care of their environment. No one is going to do it for them, so everyone has to take part in this, from plastic bottles to cardboard boxes. Maybe because for me, I'm using car tire, but some people can use plastic bottles, cardboard boxes. These materials are given a second chance at life. Just imagine using that plastic bottle for another thing. It's been used for drinking soda, it is being used for drinking water, but you're giving it another chance to live again. It will be transformed into a new product and reducing the need for virgin resources. Instead of always creating something new, being so harsh on yourself, coming up with different ideas, just recycle, reuse what you have, so that you get more ideas from just one bottle like this. This video has been so much based on conservation of the environment, but the impact of recycling goes beyond just environmental conservation. In many countries and communities, especially in Africa, recycling provides a source of income for marginalized groups, including women, because so many women and the youth. Through the initiatives like community recycling centers and cooperatives, individuals are able to earn a living while contributing to the greater good. Just imagine earning a living, but as you're earning a living, you're also conserving the environment. You're allowing that tree to get good air, to get good nutrition. You're allowing that tree to grow tall instead of being dwarfed by whatever is under the ground. So step by step, Africa is redefining its relationship with waste. This is a very good initiative that has come in over the years. Through education and advocacy, attitudes towards recycling are changing. Of course, they're changing, and they're paving way for a more sustainable future for us, the adults right now, for the children that we are bearing, and for our grandchildren. From the bustling markets of maybe Kampala, where I come from, there are many markets here in Uganda that collect plastic bottles, collect plastic materials, and to the landscapes of the villages. There are many people who are doing this. So recycling is not just a solution. It's a symbol of hope for a greener and cleaner Africa. It's also a source of hope, a symbol of hope for a greener and cleaner America, for a greener and cleaner Australia, a greener and cleaner Canada, a greener and cleaner whatever country you're in. Just place it there. Recycling is good for you. So as we continue on this journey of recycling and conserving the environment, let us remember the power we hold in our hands, because everything revolves around us. It is us to conserve the environment. We are not going to get anyone from space to come and help us plant trees. We are not going to get anyone to help us take away rubbish from the sea, take away rubbish from the rivers. It is all revolving around us, using our hands and using our heads. So the power to protect our planet, the power to protect our home for generations to come, together we can make a difference. Just begin in your homestead. Like for me, I'm doing this from my home space. I produce from my home space. So once in a while I have people who come around and we produce. But as you continue producing, other people will jump on board, because everyone sees that honestly right now the climate is changing so rapidly. It is changing so badly. So let's encourage people to come on board and embrace recycling, because we need it. I, for one, this is how I began this recycling thing. I think it was way back after finishing university. That's when I delved into this recycling art. And it is one time in my village as a young artist from the university, and I noticed a growing problem. It was really growing, especially because my university was located in a place that was near a slum, and many things were discarded just around on the perimeters of the university. So there were discarded car tires littering the streets and the fields around that place, polluting the environment and posing a danger to wildlife and of course other things and plants. So I was determined to make a difference. And so I embarked on a mission to transform these discarded tires into something beautiful and useful. Of course, as a student, whatever product you begin with is not the one that will sell. It's not the one that people will like. And with nothing but my creativity and determination, I began experimenting with different techniques, eventually mastering the art of recycling tire materials. So most of the times I produce different products from car tire. I make bangles, or you can call them bracelets or armbands. I make wall hangings out of car tire. There's one time I used to make mirrors from car tire. I make flip-flops. I make sandals. I make shoes from car tire. And so with time, my skill has just been growing slowly. And when you're producing a material that is recycled, it takes time for people to embrace it, because you're using waste. I mean, you won't expect a high-end person, a person who has their money, who is rich, to just buy a flip-flop from car tire. That means you have to apply a lot of art, a lot of creativity for these people to embrace that material that you're using. So over time, people began, and at the beginning it was basically people from abroad, from USA, from UK, from Germany and Canada, who used to buy my products, because art in those developed countries is more appreciated than Africa or Uganda. So with time, when they picked interest, and my fellow Africans were seeing people abroad buying my products, so eventually they decided to jump on board and begin buying my products. But it took time. So don't think that the day you begin recycling, people will jump on board and buy your products like crazy. No, it will take time. You have to master your craft. You will have to be creative, innovative, do a lot of research. But then, of course, after some time, things get better. And so with different innovative works, my work spread quickly, and soon I was different in my creativity, in my thinking. My perceptions were so different. And from my community, to help clean up the environment, this helped a lot. I helped a lot in cleaning up the environment. I'll tell people hey, can you help me get me some tires? Do you have some tires in your compound? And whenever I found kids along the streets, I would be like, if you get me a tire, I'll give you maybe $1 or 50 cents, or I'll give you 70 cents. So as you do that, people get to know who you are and what you want. Of course, with time, people would WhatsApp me, would send me a message and tell me, I have tires. My car, I have tires that are worn out. Are you able to take them and use them for your art? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm able to use them, especially when the person is not so far away from me. So with each tire, I collected and transformed, and not only breathing new life into the West, but also I created employment opportunities for fellow villagers, just the way I've explained to you, just giving them some cents, some maybe $1 or $2, especially when there are many. So people are getting employed together. So together they turn tires into colorful planters, even in their compounds, because I've been selling these things to them, and study furniture and even playground equipment for local children. There's a lady who wanted me to make a playground for them. Of course, eventually she didn't give me the assignment, because I think over time she wasn't able to raise the money that I had charged. It wasn't a lot, but I think she just didn't have enough. So those are some of the ideas. So the tire recycling initiative gained momentum with time, and it caught the attention of environmental organizations and local authorities. And I remember there's one time I got an opportunity to travel to Germany, and it was basically about recycling. And we did this with my friend. He's a dancer and I'm an artist, so we'll go to different schools, and we would carry out workshops in different schools. So he would teach a workshop concerning African art, and I would teach a workshop concerning recycled art in Uganda. Or how do we recycle our art in Uganda? So it will be a monthly project wherever we went, whichever school we went to. Every school we went to would spend like a week. So from Monday to Friday, kids are producing different artworks, kids are creating different dance movements. Then on Friday, that's the closure of the week, they would perform, the whole school would perform whatever they've been learning in dancing, and they would present as an exhibition what they've been doing in art. So you see how this recycled thing really paved the way for me to be able to travel to different countries, and I believe, of course, I'll be traveling to many other countries because of the creativity. It is from trash to treasure. It's the trash that really helped me get on a plane and go to another country, so that I can educate people on how to recycle. So people recognize that with time, people will get to recognize the potential to combat pollution and promote sustainability. With people's support, of course, different organizations support different, because even up to now, these products, that the key rings that you're looking at, they're going to be for someone. And this organization has something like a safari lodge. So whenever people visit their safari lodge, they give them a souvenir. So I've been making these key rings for them for some years. And as you can see there, this time I've made 100 pieces, and they'll be giving them out to their loyal customers. Just imagine making money from trash. And as you're making money from trash, you're conserving the environment, you're helping that tree grow properly, you're helping that flower grow properly, and in so doing, you're also employing other people. And with the support of these organizations, these customers who keep on coming to buy my product, I believe I'll be able to establish a recycling center with time. Because right now, there are certain kids that I work with in the village. There's a certain community where I normally go every weekend, and we sensitize the community. We give life skills to different children in the community. So with time, we shall build a community center. That is our vision. We've already begun on the community center, and we want to establish it more. It's on the foundation level, and with time, we shall encourage people to be more innovative, to be more creative in the communities that we serve. And in so doing, of course, with time, employment will be given to people. People will get an opportunity to be employed and provide for their families. So through my passion and and the innovativeness and creativity. What began as a simple idea blossomed into a movement, into an inspiration to other people across my country, and of course, I would say across Africa, because I believe there are many people who have seen my work on other channels and YouTube, I mean YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. So across Africa, it will help people to rethink their approach to waste management and embrace the transformative power of recycling. And so, with every tire repurposed, that is my philosophy. With every tire repurposed and every community empowered, whenever you repurpose a tire, whenever you recycle a tire, just know that there's a community that is empowered. So, in this story, you too can become a beacon of hope.